Another thing that they'll do is that they'll have like mugs out in order for people to get coffee, and it's a play on words. Basically, somebody that mugs, what do they do? Uh, so somebody that mugs somebody, robs somebody, and that's another way of the confess sins one upon another. It's like I'm not a priest, but when I think back on the ones who intentionally did not disclose what they were doing, I think it's real funny. Uh, I mean, I just when I think back on what they do that they feel the sense of entitlement is just it's just like so gross and so repulsive. And but that deals with being a malevolent narcissist and just acting like their poop don't stink. It's just like the phrase that they tend to use, let sleeping dogs lie. Well, does that mean lie like Pinocchio lying? Or does that mean, I mean, like, there's a difference between the word lie and the word lay. But there's many, there's many different, but that's really the reason why I was never given the words or the letters written down and never given the exact definition of the words that were being used. And that's the reason why when I think about there was something that always hit me wrong with Hitler never being prosecuted. And then then one of the alphabet soup agencies discloses that Hitler was safely relocated to Austria. It's like no shit, Sherlock. But that's more of of an example of cherry picking Bible verses like confess sins one upon another. Just like Iskerbut or whatever name is writing the deliberate dumbing down of America. That was an example of cherry picking Bible verses. But and that deals with just look at the drawings or the paintings and the art that people who are called cavemen or cave women ended up doing. Uh, I don't I can't find a cave painting that depicts let the saber-toothed tiger come in and dress himself up like a man or a woman and attack and destroy and harm the men and the women. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, and then once again, the way they write stuff up. Oh well, that's hearsay evidence, and it's like, well, I mean, it's just like when I'm telling me that such and such is cyber stalking, and I said, no, it's not. I have a right to collect evidence and try to figure out where who it is that raped me is. But basically, don't don't d- don't manipulate and skew things to your advantage again. I mean, it's just like he didn't mean anything by that. She didn't mean anything by that. It's like it, and that's the reason why it's just like there's already enough stuff written on psychopathy, on what is called family roles, like scapegoats, clown, and all I'm getting at is just because they want to make it seem like it deals with a family doesn't mean that it doesn't deal with where people are basically being forced to go, called jobs. And once again, I think that the word job is a play on words like Job and Job. And once again, not being given full disclosure, like the word apply means to beg for. But what's the real reason behind it? It's because I wasn't given my part of public utilities for as far back as I can remember from the beginning, and it's because I was not given constitutionally protected uh Social Security for as far back as I can remember, and it's from the ones who are doing things forcing me to go where I don't want to go or kidnapping me for as far back as I can remember from the beginning. And lying to me like schools are safe, or lying to me like oh, the water's safe to drink, or I mean, when I think back, and it's just like, oh, that they never they never what it and the word narcissist deals with there's several paintings dealing with it. Basically, the narcissist only wants to uh, look at themselves and wants to think how great they are, and loves to tune out or to act deaf about uh I mean, just it's just I can't even delve into the stuff. I mean, it's just like there's no. I forgot who it was that said that insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. But basically, that deals with trying to even talk to to somebody who's personality disordered and who refuses to accept the fact that they are who uh who who derive pleasure in destroying people and who are a bunch of control freaks and laugh about being control freaks and laugh about intentionally deceiving people. I mean, when I think about it, I mean, it's just kind of like just thinking about the smirks on their faces and just kind of like, whoa, just laughing about what they do to people. Which would be, I'm gonna give it an analogy, and that'd be like me going out and picking up a butterfly that's beautiful and just ripping the wings off of it just 'cause I can. And going, "Oh, baby, that really got me off." And I know this that might sound gross, but I think that the reason why they put fountains up in different places is that that's analogous to, like, sperm and ejaculation. I know that sounds gross, but I mean, it's just like, why not just call them out for what they for for I mean, it's just like, the absurdity of putting a man's jawline in what is called the Statue of Liberty. Women have rounded jaws, men have square jaw lines. Same thing with the way that they act like they're women and they're not women, or they act like they're men and they're not men. It's just like, one of them that doesn't have any hips to him intentionally putting a hand on a hip in order to shove out their hip to make it in order to deceive people into thinking that they're women when they're not. I was taken walked into a place and something didn't set right with me. I went, shit. It wasn't until I ended up looking at a photograph I went, damn, that's the reason why it didn't set right with me. That's somebody that but basically is intentionally lying to people as far as ma- 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 just cause somebody has long hair and dresses up in women's clothes does not mean that a man with an Adam's apple is a woman. I mean, when I look what it and what is and basically same thing with one of them telling me that they've been studying me for a while. It's like, no shit, Sherlock. And I think that the reason why basically that was a confessed sins one upon an example of confessed sins one upon another. Is I think that because I stood up, and it's like the things that when I think back and things that I did, there were so many of them that just sat there and just like thought that bullying was normal. And what did I do? I stood up, got up, and went running out of the room. It's just like basically being in tune and that's the other thing that they like to do is basically, oh, don't listen to intuition. Oh no, don't listen to don't listen to the gut. Don't listen to, and I'm not talking about my stomach growling. What I'm getting at is don't listen to the red flags going off. Uh and I think that that's the reason why uh I had several deer come to me right before a storm. And I think that the reason why the deer came to me is that they knew that there was a storm, and basically came to protect me, if that makes sense. To basically, and even though they didn't sit there and talk to me and go, oh, there's a big storm that's about ready to happen. There's going to be really high winds and things are most likely going to be knocked over. But basically, the deer are my friends. The deer are my friends. And that's the reason why I think that the deer have felt comfortable and have come to and have laid down and when the deer were pregnant, but because they knew that I wasn't going to harm the deer. But I think that that's also the reason why I think that the grandiose narcissist uh wanted to take me to do things that I didn't want to do. I was like, no, I don't want to go. And basically, we're up to no good. And I mean, it's things like when I said, y'all go ahead and go, I don't want to go. I'd rather roll over and go back to sleep than to go, oh, no, 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 no. And then basically one of them looking up at me, and I was like, what is that you're putting on my shoes? And that one psychopathically smirking, it's dopey, like looking up at me and calling me dopey, and that kind of shit. I mean, just absolute malevolent narcissism, as well as grandiose narcissism. And the ones that just sitting there and acting stupid about what they were doing. Oh, it'll be okay. It'll be all right. And it's like, hell, it wasn't okay for me. And so doing things like last one in, first one out, and all their crap. It's nothing but a game to them. It's nothing but a game. But basically, they don't care who they destroy. It's like why the hell would I want to be around somebody who basically derived some sort of enjoyment out of acting dumb, and who sat in the uh, I mean, I thought about doing a painting of them sitting there and chinking champagne flutes and just uh, 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 looking down at me, while basically that they were involved in intentionally and premeditatedly ruining my life. It doesn't mean that I plan on murdering myself, but I mean, I mean, when I look at it, it's just like that they can't stand people who can look at what they're doing and detect that they're up to no good. They hate people like me. They hate people like me. Absolutely hate and despise me. And but I, they hate me. They retaliate against me. Um, and I think it's because I can detect the bullshit, and I can detect their premeditated uh they're premeditated destroying people. They hate me. So 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 that also deals with the Bible speaks about not being unequally yoked. So why would I be want to be around somebody who hates me? Why would I want to be around somebody who has no ability to to disclose to me what they're doing? Why would I want to be around somebody that calls rape a sexual preference, or calls raping people experimentation? Why would I want to be around somebody who puts a statute of limitations on prosecuting rapists? Why would I want to be around somebody who laughs at me and bullies me? Why would I want to be around somebody who acts blind when I have tears streaming down my eyes? Why would I want to be around somebody who derives pleasure out of physically abusing people or emotionally abusing people? Why would I want to be around somebody who didn't disclose that they were a stockbroker and what they were actually doing? Why would I want to be around somebody who has mugs for coffee and thinks it's funny to uh mug people? I mean, that's basically what it boils down to. That's the real reason why they have coffee mugs. Is because they're forcing people to give personal identifiers. That's another manipulation of the Bible verse. Confess sins one upon another. Which also gets back to what is the real reason why religions are being forced onto people? or some sort of church denomination. I mean, does some clown in a costume calling himself a priest disclose that he's actually a sexual predator and is having men and women minors uh, give them information to blackmail them into having sex with them? It can be a woman too. Don't get me wrong about that, because and that's just it. They're sexual predators. And predators tend to go where people who are men minors and women minors end up being forced to go. And I want to bring that up as far as being forced to go. But because I never woke up and said, "Take me to school. Oh, take me to school. I just can't. I just I want to go to school." Or take me to church. Oh, I I want to go to church so much. I just want to go to church. Or, oh, take me to dancing lessons. I want to go be up on stage and wear something uncomfortable and have a bunch of shit put on my face called makeup. Or I want to go to a school called a college or university so I can get a worthless piece of paper called a diploma, or somebody else's opinion called grades. And I think back on it, it's just like I saw through the bullshit way before I was the age of majority. It's like being given an assignment. What am I going to do when I'm 99 years old? And I wrote, uh, I didn't write because I was never given a typewriter to write with, but that's another example, being forced to give my personal identifiers like my handwriting. But anyhow, so with my handwriting, scribbled, when I am 99 years young, it's like, why do I have to, just because somebody says that 99 years is old, why do I have to think that 99 years is old? But it also deals with not being given full disclosure as to why it is that I was forced to give my personal identifiers. like my handwriting. How easy would it be for someone who has forced me to give my personal identifiers to go into a government meeting to take my personal identifiers and to forge something? Same thing with somebody that forces me to give my personal identifiers onto a label. How difficult would it be for somebody like that refusing to give me full disclosure as to what the real reason the labels that I was forced to give my personal identifiers, like my handwriting? At what point in time what was, I mean, it's just kind of like, well, what's the real reason? I mean, couldn't somebody sit there and pick up the label and take it off the sticky sheet and put it onto something that I never intended it to go onto? Oh, so I mean, think about that. So it's like, what, I mean, but once again, not giving me full disclosure and forcing me to give my personal identifiers. And then and doing things like telling me I have to call back, or make calls. Well, I'm not a stockbroker. So what's the real reason why the word call is is being intentionally used? And then and then them acting dumb when hearing me say I can't make calls, I'm not a stockbroker. Oh, time to act deaf. If they were deaf, it would be different. But they're not deaf. Same thing like if they were blind, then it would be different if they were actually blind. It's like acting blind because government phones have caller IDs, and acting deaf because government phones have ringers. I mean, it's just like the same ones violate my right to contract with who I want to contract with, violating my I mean, just think about it. And some of the ones saying no right to privacy, it's like, excuse me. When I go sit on a commode, I expect my privacy. I don't expect to be recorded getting undressed. And that's another example of not giving me full disclosure. No, none of the ones insisting upon recording me ever disclosed to me that they intended on recording me getting undressed. And that's the reason why when I looked up and I was like, oh shit, that's a hidden camera inside on the ceiling inside a room where I was just told to get undressed. And then going, shit, that damn son of a bitch. And my public servants in public office with keys to government buildings call themselves X, Y, and Z. They don't have licenses to be calling themselves X, Y, or Z. Have most likely had access to looking at me being butt naked. And that's the real reason why a medical doctor wanted to minimize and act blind about me having tears in my eyes. And acted blind. But I think that's also the reason why they say that just us is blind. But it also deals with me being told that I had to have the word honor put into what is called a marriage into a wedding band. I think that that was more of confess sins one upon another because there is no honor among thieves. That's why when I think about what they've done as far as stuff goes, don't tell me it was not premeditated. Don't even fucking go there with me.